At 3 a.m. in the Red Sea, beneath the quiet passage of billion-dollar container ships, an unseen danger is already moving into place. From the embattled coastline of the Arabian Peninsula, 22 missiles and one-way attack drones rise in a single, coordinated wave. Their objective is clear: a lone American destroyer, USS Laboon. The U.S. Navy now has just 4 minutes and 30 seconds to regain control. When 22 threats are racing toward you at once, at frightening speed, how can one ship possibly survive? And more importantly, is it really fighting alone? The Bab el-Mandeb Strait is far more than a narrow channel of water. It is one of the world's most vital economic lifelines. Around 12% of all seaborne oil and nearly 15% of global maritime trade passes through this choke point, with annual commerce worth more than $1 trillion. Inside the Combat Information Center, or CIC, aboard USS Laboon, an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, the atmosphere is tense but controlled. This is not the silence of calm seas. It is the silence of total concentration. More than 20 sailors and officers sit at their consoles, representing only a small part of a crew of over 300, all engaged in Operation Prosperity Guardian, the mission to defend freedom of navigation and protect one of the foundations of international maritime law from modern asymmetric threats. USS Laboon DDG-58 operates with the Aegis Baseline 9C1 combat system and upgraded radar integration, serving as a key node in Carrier Strike Group 2. Through Link 16 and cooperative engagement capability, the ship is connected to a much larger combat network. The tactical action officer watches a single, unified picture formed from every sensor available across the area. Then, the silence breaks. From a concealed launch site on the Yemeni coast, a carefully planned saturation strike is set in motion. Backed by Iranian support and guidance through the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Quds Force, the attack is designed to flood defenses with more targets than any single platform should be able to handle in time. 14 unmanned aerial vehicles are launched, including 8 configured as one-way attack munitions and 6 used as decoys. Alongside them come 6 anti-ship cruise missiles, 4 subsonic sea-skimming types, and 2 faster variants, followed by 2 Fateh-class anti-ship ballistic missiles. Inside the CIC, the Aegis displays, giant screens capable of tracking well over 1,000 contacts at once, suddenly fill with hostile symbols. This is the essence of saturation warfare. Overwhelm the defender with volume and force mistakes through sheer pressure. The logic behind it is simple. Numbers can create their own kind of power. But the Navy's response had already started before the first warning icons appeared. Only seconds after launch, space-based infrared satellites detect the heat signatures of missile boosters against the cooler backdrop of Earth. The information is relayed to ground stations, processed, and distributed across the network almost instantly. At the same time, an E-2D Advanced Hawkeye flying at 25,000 feet scans the low-altitude threat picture with its APY-9 radar, able to pick up even small drones at long distance. Data from orbit and from the air is fused together, and advanced algorithms begin sorting every track by speed, altitude, behavior, and threat level. The answer comes fast. The 2 anti-ship ballistic missiles are identified as the top priority. On the tactical display, the picture is alarming. Threat paths converge on Laboon from multiple directions and at different altitudes. One group consists of Shahed 136 drones moving slowly at low altitude, guided to strike the ship directly. Their role is not only to attack, but to absorb defensive fire and complicate decision-making. Another group is made up of anti-ship cruise missiles flying just above the water at nearly Mach 0.9, holding radar lock for the final phase. The most dangerous group of all is the pair of ballistic missiles descending from near space at speeds greater than Mach 3, a difficult challenge for any defense system. Inside the CIC, the pressure rises, not because of panic, but because every second matters. 22 threats are expected to arrive within a 2-minute window. The ship must decide instantly how to allocate its weapons. Should it commit high-end SM-3 interceptors against the ballistic missiles while they are still outside the atmosphere? Should it preserve missiles for the incoming drones and sea-skimming cruise missiles? A countdown flashes on screen. Time to first impact, 4 minutes 30 seconds. The attackers believed saturation would overwhelm Aegis. What they overlooked was that they were not fighting one ship. They were confronting an entire network, And in modern warfare, the speed of detection, processing, and shared awareness often matters more than the speed of the weapon itself. Their tactic was classic. Launch a large wave of low-cost decoys and lower-end threats to create confusion and hide the most dangerous weapons in the chaos. In their doctrine, much of the first wave was expendable, but to a fully integrated Aegis system connected through cooperative engagement capability, clutter is not confusion. It is simply more data to sort. At 3:05 local time, the launch has already been detected by satellite and by airborne early warning aircraft. Aegis automatically classifies every contact by priority. Anti-ship ballistic missiles first, then high-speed anti-ship cruise missiles, then subsonic cruise missiles, and finally UAVs. Within about 10 seconds of launch, Laboon's CIC already has a tactical response plan in place. The element of surprise is gone. Link 16 is doing more than sharing target tracks. It enables launch on remote capability, allowing one platform to fire using another platform's sensor picture. That means a Super Hornet can engage a target beyond its own radar horizon using targeting data passed through the fleet. Now the second layer of defense comes alive. The two ballistic missiles, traveling in mid-course at extreme speed, pose the most immediate danger. The tactical action officer gives the order with calm precision. Engage ballistic targets. 2 SM-3, Block 2, A interceptors roar upward into the night. They climb out of the atmosphere, stage separation occurs, and the LEAP kinetic kill vehicle takes over, guiding itself with thrusters toward the predicted intercept point. No explosive warhead is needed. At relative speeds above 10 kilometers per second, pure impact is enough. Seconds later, on the Aegis screen, the highest priority targets simply disappear hundreds of kilometers away. With the ballistic threat removed, attention shifts outward to the next layer. 4 cruise missiles and several fast-moving UAVs are now closing from ranges between 50 and 100 kilometers. From USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, catapults launch fully armed F/A-18E Super Hornets in rapid sequence. Already airborne, 4 jets equipped with APG-79AESA radar and carrying AIM-120DAM-RAAM missiles receive targeting information directly through the network. The pilots keep their own radars quiet, relying on data provided by the Hawkeye and the fleet. Beyond visual range, missiles are released. In the final seconds, their own seekers take over. On the tactical display, more hostile tracks vanish, one after another, far from the ship. One pilot sums it up perfectly through the secure net. It is not just my radar, it is the fleet's. I'm seeing through the Hawkeye's eyes from hundreds of miles away. But the engagement is still not over. The remaining UAVs continue inward, now within roughly 20 kilometers. Laboon's electronic warfare suite begins to interfere with their guidance and control links, disrupting navigation and causing several drones to lose their course and fall into the sea. Right after that, the ship opens more vertical launch cells and fires RIM-162 evolved Sea Sparrow missiles. Fast, agile, and highly maneuverable, these interceptors are designed for exactly this kind of close-in defense. One by one, the remaining air threats are engaged. The swarm is being taken apart layer by layer. Still, in naval combat, almost is never good enough. 2 drones, through timing and chance, slip through every outer defense ring. Now they are only a few hundred meters away, entering the final dive. This is where the last wall of protection takes over. The Phalanx CIWS Block 1B. The autonomous 20mm Gatling gun locks on without hesitation. There is no time for debate and no room for delay. Its radar calculates trajectory, speed, and intercept point in an instant. The 6 barrels begin to spin, building from a hum into a piercing mechanical roar as they reach full firing rate. Then the system opens fire. A dense stream of armor-piercing rounds streaks into the night. The first drone is broken apart instantly. In less than a second, the mount swings to the next target and fires again. The second drone is torn apart just above the water. Then a calm voice cuts through the CIC. All threats neutralized. 0 hits. The engagement sequence is complete. 22 incoming threats have been intercepted. No impact on the ship. Defensive mission accomplished. But the operation does not end with defense. Now the focus shifts to locating and shutting down the launch source. Super Hornets transition from fleet air defense to suppression of enemy air defenses. Using electronic intelligence data, including emissions captured from hostile systems, pilots pinpoint 3 transporter launcher vehicles and 2 UAV control sites along the Hodeida coast. The order is given for a counterstrike. Precision-guided munitions are released, while anti-radiation missiles race toward hostile radar sites, protecting the launchers. These weapons do not chase heat or visual signatures. They home in on radar emissions. From the deck of USS Laboon, sailors can see distant flashes on the horizon. In less than 10 minutes from the moment the original strike failed, the launch network behind it is being methodically taken apart. This is not just a victory of machines. It is a victory of doctrine, coordination, and information dominance. The enemy did not face a single destroyer. They faced a combat network that could see first, decide first, and act first. The moment the missiles launched, their own positions were exposed, and their outcome was already moving toward failure. For the crew of Laboon and the air wing of Eisenhower, it was another demanding watch in the Red Sea, protecting one of the world's most critical trade routes. The lesson is unmistakable. In 21st century warfare, information dominance, enabled by systems like Link 16 and integrated sensor networks, can outweigh raw firepower alone. This network does more than defend warships. It helps secure the arteries of the global economy. And behind all of it stand the sailors and aviators who turn advanced technology into disciplined action under pressure, transforming complexity into precision when it matters most.